Hello everyone, my name is Frederick Provey. I'm the program head for your MAELM program. So you will see me throughout your program, and I will pop up in different times to give you some information, and also I teach a few courses. So as you finish the Link program, we thought we'd add this little recording to sort of give you an idea of what to expect in the coming weeks and to help you onboard onto the first pre-residency part of the program. So first, I would like to make an acknowledgement, and as we always do at Royal Roads, acknowledge that the Esquimalt and the Sanji communities have used the lands at Royal Roads since ancestral times, and that these are unceded territories and that they continue to carry a lot of relevance and meaning as a place of meeting and gathering for our local indigenous communities. The goals for this session are to explore and discuss key frameworks that inform the MAELM program. You'll be familiar with some of these, but I just want to reiterate them and to summarize them as you begin the program. Connect the program concept to your thoughts and your experiences as you begin the program again, and get to know one another. I'm sorry, I have to minimize the slides, but otherwise you will not be able to see me if I go on full screen. That's why you're able to see the margins. So bear with me for that. So first, I'd like to remind you of the 5 pillars of learning at Royal Roads. This is a philosophy that sort of is woven through all of our programs and is embedded in all the courses. And you can see a progression from learning to know, to learning to do, to learning to live together, learning to be, and then eventually shifting and transforming into a wider scope goal, which is learning to transform oneself and society. This is a philosophy that you will see repeated and echoes right through your program and right through your courses. And it's something that you will find at the heart of what we call the LTRM, the Learning, Teaching, and Research Model at Royal Roads. So it's vocabulary that we share in all programs and in all courses. Again, some of the philosophical alignments that you will see mentioned in MAELM very often. We are trying to, it's a strength-based program that is trying to use the perspective of our students as reflective learners, active and lifelong learners, critical thinkers, and respectful citizens open to views of others. So again, these are 4 sort of dimensions of the program which you will see repeated frequently through the program, and they build on your own profile. Your profile as you join us usually incorporates these 4 dimensions, and we build again a strength-based program acknowledging these dimensions of your personality and identity, and you know, facilitating its growth or their growth through the program. Another sort of reflective and philosophical piece that reaffirms our values at Royal Roads and within the MAELM program are this notion of unpacking identity. So you're mid-career, usually mid-career professionals, you are embarking on this program. It's not so much about learning and acquiring new knowledge often as going back into your experiences and your practices and unpacking these to be able to make connections with the work of the field and the work of other scholars. The way we unpack this is to, throughout the program, look at your various identities, the identities that you already carry as a learner as you join the program. So getting to know yourself, getting to know as an individual, getting to know yourself as a learner, and then obviously getting to know yourself as an educator in your practices and your current positions, and then to know yourself as educational leaders. So this work will be particularly apparent in one of the first 3 courses which you're taking during residency, which is EDLM 525, which really focuses on this unpacking of identities and going through your practice and your experiences to see connections between what you feel and what you have lived and what the field discusses in its analysis and in its findings. But it's not just in 525. You will see this occur several times through all the courses. There's an explicit sort of requirement that all courses ask you to go through this process of unpacking. I'm just going to repeat again the program Purpose, our main mission goal, to help aspiring existing administrators develop the knowledge and skills that will enable them to function as effective leaders in today's and tomorrow's challenging educational environments. So it is important that you keep this in mind. You are joining us as educators, but the aim of the program is to progressively shift your perspective to encourage you to obviously capitalize on this perspective as a practitioner, but also to start making you embrace and address a perspective as a leader in your future roles. So it's something, again, that you will see as a constant effort throughout the program in this stage. Again, a slide that we're bombarding with you, slides on values, but it's important because they do represent the sort of the cornerstones of the program, and also of again the teaching learning research model at Royal Road. So just want to sort of affirm them. So the MAELM program, as you will have gathered at this point, is outcome based, and you've heard this vocabulary used. What do we mean by that? We mean that we want this to have an impact on your practice, so that you are able to walk away from the program and actually use your acquisitions of skills and knowledge immediately in your practice. So it's not abstract, it's not in an ivory tower, it's something that you will be able to apply. It's a cohort-based learning model. You have seen this because from the very start, you are entering in link as a cohort, and you will be with that cohort right through the program, and you will be doing your learning with that cohort. So it's an important part of the program. It's applied authentic learning. Again, that connects with the outcome based. It's contextualized, so you're able to use your own experiences, your own work environment, and we look at delivering outcomes that, again, have a meaning within your own work experience. Action-oriented research, it aims to give you tools to empower yourself as a leader as you finish the program. This will be particularly important when you embark on your last course, 610, where you may actually be doing action research on your own environment. And the aim there obviously is to find solutions to real problems that you're actually encountering in your professional life. A seamless program flow. It's very different at MAELM at Royal Roads than in other programs, in the sense that there's this built-in sort of flow of courses. So you will be taking 10-week course, a 1-week break, 10-week course, 1-week break, 10-week course, 1-week break, and we'll come back to that a little later when we look at the structure. We are focused on faculty as scholar practitioners. Your instructors will be people who still have a foot in the field, often in schools as teachers or principals, and a foot in academia, in the sense that they are professors and they teach in higher education. But they have not disconnected from the root of their practice, and they're still interacting daily with school environments. Team-based learning, this again echoes the notion of cohort-based learning. So you will see that systematically in all of your courses, you have an assignment that requires you to work as a team. We also have a team coach. You will hear more about that during residency. And we ask you not just to participate in teams, but also to reflect on the processes that happen during that work as teams. And that's part of your growth during the program. And that's part of the skills that you will take away with you as a leader, because it's a real world requirement. When you go into leadership positions, you are asked systematically to work in teams and with teams. And so you are doing much of your learning, not just in terms of the outcomes and the product of the assignments, for example, but you are reflecting on the processes and the skills that you're developing as you work in teams. And then finally, it's a blended learning delivery. And what do we mean by that? We mean that you are taught online, but you're also taught face-to-face. And this is going to be very apparent in your residency, since you will begin with 3 weeks of online work, then we'll follow up with the 2 weeks of residency, and then you will finish your courses online during the rest of the summer. Program structure, I'm going to go through it very quickly because I think as you applied, you were familiarized with this, but I'll just repeat it. So it's a 33 credit program. There are 5 domains of competencies: communication, leadership, teamwork, critical thinking, research, analysis, and knowledge. What do we mean by competency domain? It means that in each of your assignments, you will see that the assignments refer back to the program outcomes, and the program's outcomes are sort of categorized in 5 dimensions. Within each of these dimensions, there are subheadings as to some of the skills that we want you to be able to demonstrate within these competencies. And each of your assignments, you will see a code at the end which refers back to the program competency. So at every assignment that you're doing, you're able to see the connections back to one of these 5 domains, which is what the program focuses on. There are 10 courses in total, and the last one is a major research paper. The learning community, cohort-based elements we have discussed. The collaborative learning is discussed as well. Blended learning we have just explained. Authentic learning, again, we are contextualizing learning within your own practice and your own sort of experiences, and it's real world applicable assessment. So we want the outcomes to be able to be transferable when you leave the program, that you're able to apply this knowledge and these skills immediately in your future leadership position. Now, a slide that you will be very interested in right away is what unfolds now and how does it work. So you are after integrating residency. So you will be online for 3 weeks, and you will be meeting 501, instructors for 501, 510, and 525. The instructor for 525 is actually myself, and you have Audrey for 501 and Brian for 510. You will be meeting them online as soon as you begin your course. It will be followed by 530 and 540, then 550, 560, 570, 580, and lastly a double course which will take you right through your research paper, and which will be a double. You see the notion of online terms, but really they're not that, the notion of term is not that relevant, because really the structure just implies that as you're working, you are taking one course for 10 weeks, taking 1 week break, and following with the next course, and so forth for the duration of the program. So think of it mostly in terms of course and break, and then on to course. We have a few more slides of values. I'm going to try and be quick, because you must be a little drowning at this stage. You probably have seen this in some of the webinars, introduction webinars, which we've done, but again, it's a key element of the program. It's a leadership and management program in education, and we insist on the fact that it's your learning to lead in learning and learning to lead. So always you will see these two dimensions as a dyad, rather than just being leaders or just being teachers. You are leading to learn, leading people in learning, and you're learning to lead as well. All of the star formations which you see around are all some of the dimensions of what you will explore in different programs. So making evidence-based decisions. As a leader, how can you have evidence to support the decisions that you make? Planning for school improvement, so management of change. How do you improve schools, improve learning? Designing teacher evaluation process, so how do you supervise people? Develop student assessment, so in terms of curriculum, how do you guide people in managing change in their assessment of students towards best practices? Communicating effectively, so a lot of work on teams, but also how do you reflect on communication and what is the best form of communication? Leading with technology, so you have a whole course, EDLM 560, which focuses on the introduction of technology and leading with technology. Using change management process, so you will see that in leadership, a lot of the task involves moving or integrating or implementing change in an organization. So how do you do that? How do you address resistance, and how do you move an organization along the process of change? Involving parents and the community. We don't work in silos. We are not in a fishbowl or in a bubble. We are connected to a community. So learning to involve this dimension of parents and communities in all the decisions that we make. And then collaborating with others, because again, collaborating effectively, that's collaborating with others, and we are doing this within a cohort model and with team-based learning. Program characteristics. This is repetitive in some respects of what we've seen already, but we see the program working a sort of cyclical sort of chain of skills. Enhancing self-awareness, that will begin with your 525 course, which you're taking during residency. Working effectively with others, it's the ability to develop skills to work in teams, and you will see this as an element of all your courses. Being inquiry-oriented, so that you are gathering data to be able to make change, and then you will see this in all of your courses, but particularly in 610. Thinking critically and creatively, again, that's a domain of competency that you will see in all of your assignments, that you learn to analyze things, to conceptualize them, and to go beyond just your observation into looking at how we can present problems in a sort of critical way. Making evidence-based decisions, that goes back with what we've discussed already, that you collect data, so you know you're making the decisions that guide you best towards best practices. Understanding change management, as I've explained, we are in an environment where this is continuously and constantly the challenge that we'll face. So as leaders, you will have to gain skills in understanding and moving change along in institutions, and then applying systems-based thinking. This probably sounds a bit conceptual at this stage, but it'll be linked with change management, and you will understand how a certain vision on organization is going to help us move change along in this organization. The last slide again refers back to the LTRIM, the Learning, Teaching, Research Model, and these are different dimensions of the pedagogical approach that we take with you. So you will see this in all of the courses again, theme-based, because we try and gather different sort of issues within overarching themes. Content-based, so we are looking at again a contextual environment where you have data to manipulate, and then you have data to bring back to the table when you want to make a decision. Context-based, because we're not doing this in the abstract, and we're not doing this simply in a textbook approach, but we're doing this within a work environment, particularly your work environment. And process-based, this again is an overarching theme in the sense that we're trying to guide you through this thinking so that you leave with some overarching processes that are transferable to other environments. So you haven't just learned this within a course or within a subject, but you're able now to see that there are certain processes that are fairly universal, are evidence-based, bring positive outcomes, and then you're able to transfer these processes and use them again and again in different environments. Then you have two slides which are very small font, I apologize, and really are not going to be that helpful to you in this size. But basically, it's to give you an overview that you have a very developed structure for your residency. The 2 weeks are mapped out, integrating your course, little sessions, different sessions changing from course to course throughout. So you have some changing the day, and that we are taught by different people and tackle different topics. And you have your breaks, and you also have a lot of social activities and overall sort of program-specific activities that are included in that. You will be given that when you start residency, so do not worry. Your program associates are going to be very proactive in giving you all this information ahead of time. And then we do have a whole section on the first morning where we explain to you exactly again the process and give you this information and introduce you to all the people that will be in contact with you during residency. A little reminder that you have the option to work towards the International Baccalaureate certification on MAELM. It doesn't require duplication of work. You're simply able to use some of your assignments to complete the certificate, the IBO certificate. If you're interested in this, do not worry about questions on this. You will have 2 sessions during residency, one which will be more housekeeping, explaining to you how the certificate works and how you can complete the requirements. And another one which is thematic, which is going to start explaining to you why is IBO relevant in a landscape of internationalization of education. So why it may be a set of skills that is more increasingly important for teachers, since more and more are drawn to work globally or work in international schools. I'd like to finish just with more practical aspects. First of all, what to expect in your pre-residency work? I know that's a question, burning questions you probably have. So your course shell will open on Moodle on the first day you begin. We don't open it before that. I think it opens from what the instructional designer tells me at about 2 in the morning on the first day that you begin. So don't be impatient, don't worry, this is totally normal. It is done on purpose that you don't start without all of the information, trying to build expectation for yourself. The day when the shell opens, then you are accompanied and you have access to your instructor, and that's the day when we start having expectations as to work being carried out, not before then. And you will start pre-residency with a pre-residency lasting 3 weeks, which is done online. So as the course opens, you are online first of all for 3 weeks. Through that, though you're working online for that period, you will get to know your 3 instructors, including myself and your cohort members. So it'll be useful in that sense that you'll start working within the cohort model that we've already discussed. And you will get to familiarize yourself with Moodle. So most of the courses at Royal Road and all of the courses on MAELM are offered through Moodle, and with Collaborate Ultra. Collaborate Ultra is a synchronous platform which allows you to interact and listen to a speaker or to your instructor or to your team members in live in synchronous times. You will be explained how to access Collaborate Ultra. You will see once you're on Moodle that in fact the access is embedded into your Moodle, so you don't have to go to a separate platform. You can enter it directly from Moodle, and then it will become very clear as you begin and you've tried it once. But this first 3 weeks will give you the opportunity to do that. Pre-residency task. You're probably receiving emails from Marlene, your program associate, who's going to be very proactive again in guiding you. But for the moment, all you have to do is follow the prompts. You will, once you're on Moodle, you will be able to follow prompts that are given on your course schedule. If you go to the very top, you will see your course schedule. The course schedule includes all of the key dates, all the tasks, all the assignments, all the things that you have to do on a week-by-week basis is included in your course schedule. So it's going to be very self-explanatory once you have access, and don't worry, your access begins on the first day of the courses. Once you're on there and you have access to your course schedule, it's probably the most important part of the Moodle page that you should go to. You should make a note of all important dates that are included in your course schedule, and this will include some assignment submissions. You have a few small assignments that you have to submit as you begin and before you come to residency, and you have a few collaborate sessions in each of your courses, so to make a note of those. Collaborate sessions are not compulsory, so do not panic if you're not available. There's no need to contact your instructor and let them know that you are not available. We can't, unfortunately, always accommodate everyone. So the policy is that they're not compulsory, but they're always recorded, and then the recording is placed on your Moodle shell. So if you've missed something, you can simply go and watch the recording later on your own, and you're not missing out. We try and vary the dates, you'll see, and vary the time so that we are not blocking out anyone due to outside commitments, and hopefully within all of the sessions and the different times and different days, you should be able to catch some of them. The others you can watch through Moodle afterwards. Do reach out to your instructors if you have any questions, not at this stage, but once the Moodle page opens. If anything is unclear, they are there to assist you and accompany you, so you'll be able to contact them directly through Moodle. You will see you have certain discussion forums that are specifically related to questions on the course. So when your instructor opens their Moodle platform, they will see that there are questions in that forum, and they should go and answer them. I'm your program head, so feel free as well to contact me if you have any remaining questions. Beyond that, or questions you've not had an answer to, and you have my email there, which is frederickfove@royalroads.ca. If you not getting this down, or you forgot, or you close this and you want to come back, if you Google me as program head, you will see you have a contact page through the Royal Roads site, which is fairly easy to use, and we'll get to my email box as well. So I congratulate you on finishing the LINK course, which is a prerequisite to your starting, and I welcome you to the program, and I look forward to seeing you during residency, and also to see you online and on 525, and we have a couple of collaborate sessions, so you'll be able to have discussions with me as well as an instructor in your pre-residency work. For the moment, enjoy the start of your program, and I look forward to seeing you. So the last slide was about questions, and again, I've just answered that, so you'll be able to address your questions to your instructor as the Moodle shell opens, or you can contact me or your program associate at any time if you have other questions that need answering. So bye for the moment, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.